Have you ever caught yourself halfway through the day, pausing for a moment as your hand instinctively finds that spot on your lower back, quietly wishing the ache would just fade away? You're not alone, and no, you're not imagining it. Lower back pain isn't simply a sign of getting older. It is your body, is gentle whisper, asking for change, care, and mindful movement. But here is the twist no one talks about. Relief doesn't come from doing more, it comes from doing smarter. In today's video, I'm not just tossing out another list of 5 back exercises you've seen 100 times before. I'm sharing 5 familiar movements, reinvented, backed by fresh science-driven insights created especially for bodies over 60. These aren't just stretches. They're your tools to reconnect 3 powerful allies, your brain, your spine, and your stability. The trio that keeps you standing tall, sleeping soundly, and living fully. By the end of this video, you'll know not only what to do, but why it works, and how just a few mindful minutes each day can transform the way your back feels and the way you move through life. Stick around, because your best years of movement, they're not behind you. They're just beginning. Before we dive in, drop your name and where you were watching from in the comments. I love seeing where our growing community is tuning in from. Exercise 1. The pelvic tilt, the spine reawakener. At first glance, the pelvic tilt might look simple, almost too simple, but don't let that fool you. It's one of the most powerful movements you can offer your lower back. What makes it special isn't raw strength or flexibility, it's awareness. You're not just moving your hips, you're reigniting the communication between your brain, your spine, and your core. See, as we age, our bodies quietly start to forget certain motions. Those tiny stabilizing muscles hugging your spine, the ones that keep you upright without you noticing, begin to switch off after years of sitting or moving less. The pelvic tilt acts like a soft reboot. Each gentle motion sends a signal to your nervous system, reminding those dormant muscles to wake up. It also restores balance to your pelvis, the foundation of every step, every stand, every reach. Once your pelvis learns to move freely again, pressure on your lower vertebrae drops, pain eases, and your posture naturally lifts. Think of it as teaching your body how to move young again, without strain, without force. This isn't a stretch of effort. It's a conversation with your spine. Slow, mindful, and deeply healing. If you've been living with stiffness or that dull morning ache, this simple movement can be the quiet key that unlocks your freedom again. How to do it? Lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor, hip-width apart. Rest your hands lightly on your pelvis so you can feel the motion. Take a deep breath in through your nose. As you exhale, tilt your pelvis backward, gently pressing your lower back into the floor as if trying to flatten it. Feel your abdominal muscles engage slightly, then inhale and return your pelvis to its starting position. Don't lift your glutes. Keep the motion slow, small, and controlled. Repeat 10 times, breathing naturally and focusing on the connection between your breath and your movement. Want to take it one step deeper? Try closing your eyes and really feel the movement from the inside out. Feel that gentle warmth spreading through your lower back. Each repetition smoother than the last. That's not just your muscles working. That's your body remembering how to move, how to heal. This isn't about perfection. It's about reconnection. Exercise. 2. The glute bridge, your hip lifeline. The glute bridge isn't just a back exercise. It is a lifeline for your hips, your spine, and your overall vitality. Honestly, if I could choose only one movement to support active aging, this one would easily make the short list. Here is why. Your glutes are your body's engine, the powerhouse behind every step, every lift, every movement. But after 60 years of sitting, poor posture, and even chronic pain can cause that engine to idle. When your glutes switch off, your balance falters, your stride changes, and your spine ends up taking on pressure it was never meant to handle. The glute bridge helps reverse that story. With every gentle lift, you're waking up the largest, strongest muscles in your body. You're shifting the work away from your lower back and back to where it belongs, your hips and thighs. Science backs this up. This simple motion activates your posterior chain, the powerful network of muscles that shields your spine, stabilizes your pelvis, and protects against falls. And for older adults, that's not just helpful, it's essential. But maybe the best part? This move helps you rise, literally and metaphorically. Rise from a chair, rise from a low moment, rise into your day with renewed strength and purpose. How to do it? Lie on your back, knees bent, feet flat on the floor, about hip-width apart. Let your arms rest gently at your sides. Take a slow, deep breath in. As you exhale, press your feet into the floor and begin to lift your hips, starting from your glutes, then slowly peeling your spine off the mat, one vertebra at a time, until your body forms a straight line from shoulders to knees. At the top, squeeze your glutes and hold for 2 to 3 seconds. You don't need to go high, just enough to feel your hips engage and your back release. Inhale as you lower back down, one vertebra at a time, until your spine fully rests on the ground. Repeat this movement 8 to 10 times, moving with your breath. If it feels a bit challenging at first, place a small pillow under your lower back for gentle support. Remember, this is about building strength from within. Every repetition helps you stand taller, move steadier, and live more confidently. Exercise 3. Single knee to chest. The back soother. This next movement may seem quiet, but don't underestimate its power. The single knee to chest stretch speaks directly to your lower back, your hips, and even your nervous system. It's often dismissed as too basic, but in reality, it's a soft reset for your spine, especially your lumbar region, which carries so much of life's tension. It gently decompresses the vertebrae, opens the hip flexors, and eases pressure on the sciatic nerve, often the source of that dull ache running from your lower back down your leg. But there's another hidden benefit. This stretch helps restore diaphragmatic breathing while lying down. For older adults, who often carry quiet tension in the chest or abdomen, this is a game changer. When your breath deepens, your muscles soften. Your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's natural healer, activates. That's when real recovery begins. Even better, studies show that this simple movement boosts circulation in your lower spine and pelvis, improving flexibility, recovery, and even digestion. It's not just a stretch, it's an invitation to let go of tightness, of fear of movement, of that quiet voice that asks, what if it hurts? This is your body's reminder. Release, realign, and begin again, gently, one breath at a time. How to do it? Lie flat on your back with both legs extended. Slowly bend your right knee and draw it toward your chest. Wrap your hands just below your knee, either behind your thigh or over your shin, whichever feels comfortable. Avoid pulling directly on the knee joint. As you exhale, gently draw your knee closer to your chest. Don't force it. Let gravity and your breath do the work. Hold the position for 15 to 20 seconds, breathing slowly and deeply. Feel your lower back lengthen, soften, and melt into the floor. Then gently release the leg and return it to the mat. Repeat the same motion with your left leg. Complete 2 or 3 rounds on each side. If lying completely flat feels uncomfortable, bend your opposite leg and plant that foot on the floor for gentle support. This is your moment of pause, a chance to reconnect, breathe deeper, and remind your body that it's safe to move again. There's strength in stillness, and with every repetition, you are teaching your body that gentle movement isn't just possible. It is powerful. Exercise 4. The Piriformis Stretch. The sciatic release. Hidden deep within your glutes lies a small muscle called the piriformis. When it tightens or becomes inflamed, it can press on your sciatic nerve, triggering pain that shoots from your hip down your leg. You might feel it as a dull ache, or sometimes a sharp twinge that greets you the moment you get out of bed. This stretch goes straight to the source. But beyond that, it creates space. Space in your hips, in your pelvis, and even in your nervous system to breathe again. Unlike larger, more obvious stretches, this one works quietly behind the scenes, which is exactly why it's so often overlooked. But for aging adults, especially those who sit often or feel tightness in the hips, this gentle movement can unlock incredible relief. In fact, recent studies link piriformis tension to gait instability, one of the leading causes of falls in older adults. Releasing this small muscle may not only ease pain, it could literally help you move safer and steadier. Think of it like clearing a traffic jam around your sciatic nerve. Suddenly, the signals flow freely again. The relief feels real, the freedom unmistakable. And here's the key. The piriformis doesn't respond to force. It responds to calm, intentional movement. So don't push. Don't rush. Just invite the release. How to do it. Lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Lift your right foot and rest the outer edge of your right ankle just above your left knee, forming a figure 4 shape. If you already feel a stretch in your right hip and glute, stay there and breathe deeply. Otherwise, slowly lift your left leg off the ground, bringing your left thigh toward your chest. Thread your right hand through the space between your legs and clasp both hands behind your left thigh. Using your arms, gently draw your left leg closer. You'll feel a deep, satisfying stretch in your right hip and outer glute. Hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds, breathing deeply and evenly. Then, slowly release and switch sides. Repeat 2 to 3 times on each side. If your hips or knees feel sensitive, try doing this seated in a sturdy chair, resting one ankle over the opposite thigh. Remember, this isn't about intensity, it's about invitation. Let your body open at its own pace, and feel how even the smallest release can bring profound relief. Exercise 5. The hamstring stretch, the posterior chain reset. Your hamstrings, those long, powerful muscles running down the back of your thighs, do far more than help you bend or walk. They're part of a powerful system called the posterior chain, which includes your calves, glutes, and lower back. When this chain tightens, especially at the hamstrings, it quietly pulls on your pelvis, tugs your spine out of alignment, and feeds that deep, nagging lower back tension so many of us feel. But here's something surprising. Most people don't actually have short hamstrings. They have inactive ones. Over time, especially after 60, these muscles lose elasticity not just from aging, but from underuse and shallow movement patterns. This stretch acts as a gentle reset. It wakes up those sleepy muscles, improves blood flow, and restores balance across your entire back body system. Even better, it reactivates tiny sensory receptors in your muscles and tendons, called muscle spindles, that teach your brain to trust movement again. This isn't about touching your toes, it's about restoring posture, protecting your spine, and giving your body back the flexibility it remembers and still deserves. With each breath and each stretch, you're not just lengthening a muscle, you're lengthening your capacity to move through life with ease, grace, and confidence. How to do it? Lie flat on your back with both legs extended. Gently bend your right knee and draw it toward your chest. Place your hands behind your right thigh. You can clasp them or simply rest them there. From this position, slowly extend your right foot upward toward the ceiling. Your leg doesn't need to be perfectly straight. Just move until you feel a comfortable stretch along the back of your thigh. Then flex your foot, pulling your toes gently toward your face. This deepens the stretch and activates more of your posterior chain. Hold for 15 to 20 seconds, breathing slowly and evenly. Then gently bend your knee and lower the leg back to the floor. Repeat the same with your left leg. Do 2 to 3 rounds per side. If lying flat feels uncomfortable, you can easily do this stretch seated on a sturdy chair. Extend one leg forward, heel on the floor, and gently hinge forward from the hips. No bouncing, no forcing. Just a calm, steady invitation for your muscles to return to their natural length. The length of freedom and support your body was designed to give you every single day. Practical advice for older adults. Start small and stay consistent. Instead of striving for perfection, focus on how your body feels during each movement. Even 2 exercises in the morning and 2 before bed can spark powerful change. No gym required. If you ever feel lightheaded or dizzy, try doing the exercises after a light meal, and remember to stay hydrated. Use a chair, pillow, or wall for support whenever you need it. Progress isn't measured by how far you stretch, but by how often you show up. Your body listens to consistency more than intensity. So be gentle, but don't stop. You moved, you reconnected, you rose. You didn't just stretch. Today, you reclaimed something deeply personal. Your right to move freely, to move on your own terms. And that's worth celebrating. Lower back pain can feel like a slow thief, quietly stealing life, as simplest joys, walking without a wince, reaching without fear, sleeping through the night without interruption. But in these few minutes, you stood up to it, gently, powerfully. Each movement wasn't just for flexibility. It was a message to your nervous system, your joints, and your spirit that says, I'm still here. I'm still growing. Remember, movement isn't about youth. It's about freedom. And freedom doesn't retire at 60. In fact, this chapter might just be your most intentional, most empowered one yet. So, keep this video bookmarked. Come back to it anytime you need a gentle reset. When your back feels tight, when life feels heavy, or when you simply want to reconnect. If this video brought you any value, drop a comment below. Tell me what shifted for you, or what you're still working through. Because we're not just stretching here. We're building a community, a culture of active aging. Because healing happens in motion, and motion is your birthright. See you in the next video, my friend. And until then, keep rising.